Well, this has been a fantastic program of transition, transformation, vision and leadership and action and impact. And the Prime Minister's economic advisor, Mr. Patel, really underscores the importance of having, yes, the vision and the leadership, but understanding that what we're talking about in competitiveness and economic growth is systems integration, understanding the various components, how they fit together, but being willing to take risks to get rewards. I want to acknowledge also our colleagues and friends from Piraeus Bank. Christos Megalou, who is the CEO and chairman, was one of the earliest distinguished fellows of the GFCC, and he was with us when we had our major event in London in 2016. So, of course, we were all very excited when he became the CEO of the bank. And I also want to acknowledge the chairman of the bank, George Hadjinikolaou, who is a board member of GFCC, and together with the Athex Group and the new CEO, we did some exciting things here in Greece, including the Roots program to stimulate the small, medium-sized, innovative companies who have the great potential to go from local to global, which of course is the theme of our Innovation Summit that commences tomorrow. Every year, the GFCC recognizes leaders, men and women, in the country where we convene who have made a tremendous difference, yes, in being visionary leaders, but also being what I would call builders. These are people who understand that, yes, we can talk and have understanding of issues and things, but they don't just talk, they act, and they act with impact. So we're really honored tonight to recognize with special tribute and great admiration two leaders in Greece that have really helped on this journey of transformation, not just in Greece and the region, but globally as well. So I first want to recognize the CEO and founder of the Delphi Economic Forum, Simeon Simokis. He's been the sponsor, and not just the sponsor, but the intellectual creator of some of the world's most important gatherings of brilliant minds and leading-edge thinkers, but also those who are responsible through their elected governments in transforming these ideas and thoughts into policies and initiatives that improve the standard of living and the future for their citizens and the next generation. Established in Athens in 2016, the forum really began as a relatively small gathering. The first year had some 300 participants, mainly from Greece, and a few of us who came from Europe as well as the United States. And Simeon had the vision to create this forum in Delphi, which, as we know, is one of the great centers of the classical world. It was where, no matter what was going in the city-states of Greece, whether conflict between Athens and Sparta, everyone would come and gather in Delphi. And yes, they wanted to hear from the oracle, but it was a place that was where peace and reconciliation took place. So it was very symbolic to be in Delphi and to talk about what was going to happen in the future. And we always say, Simeon, at each meeting, that none of us are the oracles, but we are certainly in the environment of the Sibyl Oracle to think about the world that we're creating together. But Simeon has taken the forum to a new level. There are gatherings all over the world. In fact, just last spring, there were 2,600 participants from 65 countries, and it has extended its work into Washington, Toronto, Brussels, as well as being a major regional forum and gathering of the best and brightest thought leaders throughout the Balkans. Simeon started his career as the CEO of the American Hellenic Chamber of Commerce. And again, this is a story of an individual who is a builder, because when he became the head of the chamber, it was a relatively small organization with 150 members, and then moved to become, by 1997, the leading American Chamber of Commerce throughout Europe. With more than 1,500 corporate members, it was associated with the U.S. Chamber and the Council of Chambers in Europe. He again led major gatherings and was collaborating with the leading thought journalists and newspapers, the New York Times, The Economist, and each year the Chamber organized business delegations in U.S. cities including New York, Chicago, Houston, LA, and Washington. And we had the great honor and pleasure at the Council on Competitiveness to host one of the Chamber's delegations. And of course, then the Chamber became a major partner and leader in the Thessaloniki International Fair, the Poseidon Maritime Exhibition, and many other trade shows. And I want to say as an American that we were very honored in 1991 when it was the Chamber that brought together some 1,500 senior personalities from Greece to recognize our American president, George Herbert Walker Bush. And in recognition of this, Simeon was selected as an award under the Eisenhower Fellowship Program. He's had such a major role in, yes, strengthening bilateral relations with Greece throughout Europe and the rest of the region, but he also is someone who is very inclusive. He is not, in our language in the United States, he's nonpartisan. He brings people from all aisles of the political dialogue, and that's what makes his creation of Delphi Economic Forum sustainable, powerful, resilient, and shaping our future. The other gentleman we want to recognize tonight is Simos Anastonopoulos, the president of the Council on Competitiveness of Greece. Simos has been one of Greece's biggest champions for business, for innovation, competitiveness, and for the GFCC. He's one of the most respected and successful business leaders in Greece as the chairman and CEO of Petsiavis SA, a Greek pharmaceutical, health, industrial, consumer products, manufacturing, and distribution company. And you've played a very critical role in your leadership, Simos, in modernizing and taking into the future this 100-year-old family business into one of the strongest, most competitive companies in Greece and the region. You have many leadership positions, chosen to serve as the president of SA Limited Liability Companies, for service on boards of directors of the Pan-Hellenic Association of Pharmaceutical Industries. You were elected as the president for 6 years of the American Hellenic Chamber of Commerce. You elevated and expanded communications and engagement between Greece and the United States and many other countries around the world. And you have helped position Greece for greater competitiveness in the global economy when you were elected as really the visionary behind the creation of the Council on Competitiveness in Greece, now bringing together companies, universities, and organizations to really lead this trajectory of the competitiveness journey. And I urge all of you who are with us tonight, if you're not a member of Compete Greece, to join, because I've had the honor to participate in meetings, and it's very stimulating and very important, and it is an action agenda. So, Simos, we want to recognize you as well for your leadership with this award of the Global Federation of Competitiveness Council. Now, before I invite our chairman, Chad Holliday, to join me on the stage to present our award, I want to say something about what you were both receiving, because a lot of thought went into your gift. It's not a traditional plaque or a piece of glass that has your name that will sit on a shelf in your office, and someday your children will say, "What is this thing?" and it gets, sent to the thrift shop. It's something very special. Greece, of course, has always been a maritime nation and a maritime power. And as we heard the new chairman and CEO of the Stock Exchange say, the clock is ticking. And we are in a time of great transition and transformation. So what you are going to receive is a maritime clock, but it's a chronometer clock. And those of you know the chronometer fuses two Greek words, chronos for time and meter for measure. And the development of the chronometer in the 18th century was one of the great success stories of innovation that transformed our world, because up until that time, there was no way to measure longitude and time at sea. And without that, great explorers really didn't know where they were going. They had celestial navigation, but it was very imperfect. And the first national award for innovation with a great prize was that of King George III, who created the award for who could discover longitude and create the instrument of precision to measure it. And does anybody know who that individual was? Well, he was a humble carpenter in Yorkshire named John Harrison. And he was the one who melded all his skills in carpentry, in mechanics, to create the first chronometer that ultimately won the prize, changed the world, and enabled us to have the navigation of exploration and discovery, which is a symbol, of course, of our competitiveness journey. So with that, I would like to invite our chairman, Chad Holliday, to join me on the stage, as well as Simeon and Simos, to receive their Global Competitiveness Award for their vision, leadership, and impact. We will.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bring the other
Thank you very
gift
much.
up. This is for you to hold,
Thank you.
and we're going to put this one here.
Of course, when we started this noble project to bring the GFCC and the GIS here in Greece, we didn't expect this. We did it for our country because we wanted the GFCC members around the world to see the new face of Greece. But anyway, we thank you deeply for this. We appreciate that, and this is a great honor for me and Simos as well. Please.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Chad. This is an unexpected surprise, and we thank you very much for this. It has been a team effort, and it has been done under Deborah's leadership and yourself, and but we appreciate it very much. We love to be appreciated, of course.
Let's get a picture here.
Yes. And of course, this goes to our colleagues, Yana, Antigoni, Dimitra, all the people who supported this, the organization of this event.